My name is Pritam Jha. I'm originally from India. I've been living in Europe, in Netherlands and Germany lately for last 11 years. I'm by background professional is a geoscientist. I used to work with oil and gas companies for about 18, 20 years. And yeah, and then something happened, and then that's why I'm here in a coaching space. So back in I think 2018, 19, around like sometime around, I was really going through a rough phase in life. I didn't know what it is. I just felt something is not working. It's like a lot of efforts. Something is not giving results, and I'm agitated all the time. I'm annoyed all the time. I'm fighting. A lot of anger, a lot of outbursts, and things like that. That was constantly happening. And there was one particular day, one of my colleagues just stopped and asked me, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like, really, by meaning. Um, uh, because in office, what happens? You see a lot of people every day in the morning. Hey, how are you? Good morning. On your way. And that was really some meaningful, like really looking for an answer from me. And I stopped and I felt, no, I don't feel great. I feel shit. you know, Sorry for the language, but that was it. And then I had to do some things. I had to visit the company nurse in the office and then to my GP, and I was told like I was really going through a bad, phase of burnout, which eventually, few months down the line, was diagnosed as clinical depression. And it was like someone just pushed me from the cliff of the Norwegian fjords, and I don't know swimming. So it went literally spiraled down quite some time. So I was on medical leave for quite a long time, almost a year actually. And then my company was reorganizing again. Meanwhile, my wife got a job to a different place, like a transfer work. And I was like, what should I do? Should I come back from to work? Should I, leave? Do what? This, that. I was not still fully fit because the doctor was hesitating to certify me to go back to work. Um, and then I saw one post in LinkedIn one day from a guy saying, "Hey, people in this company, I know you are going through some trouble. What about a half an hour chat with me to see what's there?" I didn't know anything. I just signed up because one of my colleagues, reposted that on LinkedIn. I just signed up. The guy was in Netherlands, just next to me, and then I found out, he's a husband of my very dear colleague. I didn't know about, and he's a CTI coach. And that was like slot half an hour general discovery call kind of thing. But we didn't stop in that half an hour. It went for like, if I'm not wrong, almost 1.5 to 2 hours, somewhere in between. All good. So I was like, you know, after the thing happened, and I told my wife like, who are these people like life coach? I didn't know about, and they were asking me so difficult and you know very honest questions that I have no answer for. And I could literally didn't couldn't sleep that night. I still remember that very well. Next morning, I put my papers. Like I took a voluntary CVS. That bye bye. But that was how it started, and it kept on. Somewhere it was hidden in my brain, this thing. And then going forward, when I actually finally stopped working, I moved to a new place, and I was wondering, still COVID that time. I was wondering what should I do, things like that. But that was sort of the background music in a great movie. It was still going on, and I couldn't refuse that. So I started exploring. I spoke with him again. Then I, checked in LinkedIn about a few coaches. Couple of them, I just, said, "Hey, can I talk to you about this? What do you do? How did you, And then I started following CTI, and then CTI was offering a lot of this free sessions, like the promotional kind of talks at that time, live demo and kind of thing. I joined quite a few, and I was like, wow, this is something, you know is giving me a lot of hope. uh, and when you are depressed, that's the only thing you don't have. You don't really have hope. So that's how it started, tricking and Ben. And then I signed up for the CTI course. I think it was early part of 2022. It was like my New Year resolution: sign up for this course. Okay, fully, because I was like, okay, if I stop somewhere in the middle and then again start asking questions, probably I will not finish it. So I'll do sign up for it till the certification, and then I'll see what happens. So I just went ahead and did. And first day, CTI fundamentals, when all these introductions and things went over, and then this wheel of life came into my front, and I was like, what the heck? Like, this simple, just like life. But when I started working on it, that made so much impact on me. Like, I was like, ooh. And since then, there is no looking back. I'm really happy that I'm this space. It also gives me, and then when I did fundamentals, and then the fulfillment is like the life purpose, and it actually resonated with me so well. um I love people. People are really one of my strongest ally. Like, I really get oxygen when talking to people, networking or just meeting people. That's really a great way for me to connect. And I was, in the middle of COVID. What else you want other than connection? So you make the connections. You make the purpose of helping others. I mean, that was always part of me, but it never, surfaced in a way. So all these things, people, connection, purpose, all this somehow so beautifully. It's like a fresh barista in the morning, giving you a coffee with a heart sign. The way I see the clients as a window to the world, because everyone is in different time and space, and they have dealing with different issues, as like any other 8 billion people. Um, what I think the best thing that worked for them was that self realization that they got, just like me. What is about them. A lot of people like, oh, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate that. But what does it speak to you? Why do you hate? What makes you feel that way? What is the value disconnect? What is the thing that is not working for you? So this nuances, nobody feels that way. you know and that is I think the power of coaching, that when you ask those questions and people like, oh yeah, okay, I didn't see that, I didn't. So that sort of self empowerment and clarity that comes out of coaching, I think that's the biggest thing that my clients acknowledge. And then also the feeling, that it's okay to be stuck. It's okay, sometimes, life is not a constant um treadmill, like the hedonic treadmill that we know. It's not constantly moving and going, and ups and downs. Just take it, feel what is happening, and the resilience that comes from that, the power that comes from that is amazing for them. So I and that really makes me happy, seeing them working on themselves, because one of the things that happens to many of us, not only me, it happened to me, I know very well, but many of us, that we stop working on ourselves. We stop giving that importance to ourselves. Somewhere I read a very nice quote, that in your list of things you love, when is you coming in that list? And I asked that question to many people, like, what do you love? Oh, I love sport. I love this. I love that. Do you love yourself? And nobody comes up with that answer. And I think through coaching, this is one of the things that, you know, a great way to see what do you actually love in you. So where coaching helps, and sometimes, I mean, okay, there's a two part of it. I see. Helps in a way. There's a lot more clarity. There is a lot more purpose. There is a lot more intent. I think through coaching, I have seen, especially with my kids, my bonding and my engagement, that has been phenomenal. I really, has become part of my life, even when I'm not working anymore, like full time and, trying to set the business. But the connection I had with them is phenomenal, like last 3 years through this. And I bring coaching all of them. My elder one is 14, my younger one is 8, and it's a great way to start them, failing before they hit the road in the world, and then, oh, this is not happening, that is not happening. So prepare them early. So that has been really phenomenal. I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to pretend that, okay, this, whatever the relation with this person, the um, natural part of it, so I can get the gist out of it. I can read the level 3 very quickly, and go on, like whether that is for me or not, or those kind of things. So that sort of understanding, so that in future I know where is my boundary, what I'm supposed to do, where is that person's boundary. So all those things that really came across nicely once I started doing this. And that's a big burden off the chest, or the shoulder. It's an eternal stairway to self discovery. And I mean that it's great to help people, but I think all of us who come to coaching with the proper sense of it, we know we are helping ourselves as well. And we see the whole world through them. And everything starts with me. I truly believe that. I mean, when I did the power of will, the wheel of life, it was excellent tool. And then what I started doing, that I asked every one of my coaches to put their passport photo in the middle and stick it. And I do have the same. So it says, like, okay, the story starts from you. Whatever you do, it's nothing, there is nothing, what I say, numerical value that brings value, or whatever the way you think. But it connects with you. That dot is you. I think so for me and anyone in this world, that, that self discovery. And I think coaching brings out that so fantastically. I mean, I've been to therapist, as I was going through that clinical phase of things. It's a great way to start when you start opening up. I think that was the biggest help I got. But did it bring me to a track where I was seeing life differently or changing habits or things? No, it did not, honestly. And that for me started with the coaching journey I took.